Hey, cuz, have you heard about the Amazon affiliate link on campfirepod.com?
Tell me about it.
Well, I've told you about it almost every show for the past couple of weeks.
Tell me more.
We have an Amazon affiliate link on our website, and if you click on it and buy anything through Amazon, we make a small commission at no extra charge to you, and it's just a good way to help support the show.
That sounds really generous.
And one of the cool things you can buy on Amazon now is our new Amazon merch, like our t-shirts.
I know, I'm so excited.
Oh, that's such an ugly design. Let's get the show started.
Stop. Hi, I'm Lourdes.
And I'm Eric, but you can call me Tello. This show is a family-oriented show, but it's oriented from the adult perspective. We talk about adult situations, and very often we use adult language. So if there's any kids in the room, kick their asses out. They don't belong here right now. Unless they want to learn something about life.
Right, this may not be suitable for children. And I'd like to add, I don't want to make anybody mad, and I love my family and friends.
I do too. I don't know how much you actually love your family and friends.
I really do.
I've heard you say some messed up things.
No.
You are wrong all the time.
It's
Family, you are wrong all the time.
I just remembered something. Yeah.
That time you said the family was wrong all the time?
It's not true.
I don't believe you.
They are wrong sometimes.
Yeah, of course, everyone is, but you were just all...
Family, you are wrong all the time.
Wait, I know we just started, but I need to get something because I think it's pretty funny.
Okay, go for it. I'll just tell a story. I hate when my cousin does this. We have a time we're supposed to start. We get started. We talk about the show, what we're going to talk about ahead of time, just so that we're all on the same page. And then she always forgets something. It's not like I just had to stop the show a while ago so I could go pee, which actually I did, but you don't know that until I just told you. But now you know. I'm sorry, because I wasn't talking smack about you behind your back. What'd you have to go get?
Of course not. So yesterday, because, with our intro about you talking that I think my family's wrong. Yesterday we went to eat for Alvaro's birthday. He turns 48, I believe. Yeah.
Damn,
I know.
that dude is old. And Andrea is what, 39?
40. She started to turn 40.
Oh, that's right. She just turned 40. I went to Vegas for that.
So we went to eat at a Chinese restaurant. And, of course, at the end of the meal, they give you the little fortune cookies.
Okay, yeah.
Check out mine. It says, you always have the right answers. They just sometimes ask the wrong questions.
That is the best description of you I think I've ever heard.
I about fell out of my chair.
Because you were like, all these years, now I know what's wrong. People have been asking me the wrong questions.
I thought that was hilarious. So I was like, I'm definitely saving this one.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
I have some in my wallet, but I don't want to. Oh, actually, you know what? I don't have to dig for my wallet. I have it right here. If we're going to compare fortunes.
I didn't know you collected.
First of all, the only fortune I have in my wallet is the one that I get from fortune cookies, because definitely not a lot of money in here.
Well, maybe if you played those lucky numbers on the back.
You ever play those lucky numbers?
No, but I think I might. They actually look like they have some significance to them.
I can't find a fortune, but I can find this that I carry with me. See if you recognize this.
No way.
Say what it is. What do you see?
It's a food coupon for $1, which is the old food stamp, right?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
There was a time. I know you look at me and you're like, wow, you're so successful and wealthy, except for that fortune that's not in your wallet. And you think, was there ever a time when you ever had it bad? And yeah, there was. I mean, we were younger. We hit some hard times. Mom got really sick. She couldn't work for a while. And we had to use food stamps. It was not a proud moment in my life, but I'm definitely thankful that there was that program available to us, because how else would we have survived?
I know. I had to use those too. My mom would send us into the store, and we hated it because it was like the cashier had to make an announcement like, you know,
We have some poor kids at the register. Can someone come help us with these poor kids who can't afford to buy their own food?
we need a manager to check out number 1. We have some food stamps over here.
Yeah, well, I found
That's crazy.
One day I was cleaning my bedroom and I found that, and I was like, I never, ever have want to go on welfare again. I will work as hard as I can not to. And there were a couple of times here when I was in school, when I was working like minimum wage jobs. I had 2 of them. I just wasn't making a lot of money. I actually considered signing up again to see if I qualified. And I think with the amount of money I was making, I probably could have qualified, but my pride wouldn't allow me, and I worked hard enough to where I didn't have to. And thank the good Lord, I'm doing better now. Still not where I want to be, but I never had to sign up for welfare again. And hopefully, the Lord willing, I never have to. So
Well, and I hope you don't have to either, but you know, there are people that really truly need it.
oh, absolutely. And I'm
And
not judging those people. I
yeah,
understand. Like I said, I was really close. I just was determined not to have to do that.
and
If
that's
I had
good.
to,
You
if
would
I
have.
had to, I would have done it. I would have swallowed my pride. There should be no pride involved. If you legitimately need it, go for it.
Yeah, and I'm
I
not. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say I'm not gonna get like on this political soapbox or anything, but
Please don't.
no, it's just funny because Andrea sent me this link about there's some changes being made to the welfare program specifically for the food stamps, and there was mention of there being boxed food in place or in substitute to some of those benefits, and they would have like government grown vegetables and things. And I'm like, oh my gosh, they're gonna kill the people that are on food stamps. Remember, do not fact check me.
Okay.
Family, you are wrong all the time.
That was you, not me. Anyway, this is episode 34. 34, because we're like, I don't know, 16 weeks. If we do an episode a week, that's 16 weeks. That's what, 4 months? We're 4 months away from our 50th episode.
Wow. We
But
should
we're
have
not
like
there yet.
okay.
Oh, what? No. We should have what?
I would say like a
Start
50th
planning it.
anniversary or something.
Yeah. That's the golden anniversary. You can buy me some gold.
Yeah, it's probably not gonna happen because you know those
Yeah.
earrings that I tried to buy for Louise, it didn't happen.
You still haven't gotten him a birthday present?
No. To
It's
wait.
been a week, cuz.
You know, because when the pocketbook doesn't match up to the price, the sticker price.
You know what? If you sign up for welfare, you'd probably have more money in that pocketbook.
Probably.
I'm kidding.
I'm really
No, like I said,
considering it. No, I'm joking.
No, only if you really need it. Anyway, welfare is not what I wanted to talk about today. What do we want to talk about today?
So I think I told y'all last time that Priscilla went on this competition thing.
No, you didn't mention it last time. That was something we talked about after the show.
Oh, okay. So yeah, Priscilla went to this competition and
Which means that her bedroom was available and you could have gone in there and recorded the show uninterrupted, no walkthroughs because there's no restroom in there, and you didn't.
that's true. That's
And
true.
instead, I had to do my best to edit out a bunch of background noise, people opening and closing the door, and it's all your fault.
Well, I understand. But we're
So
on
anyway.
another show. We're moving on.
Yeah, she went to another competition. She went to a competition, and what happened?
She didn't place, you know.
And you were happy about that
In a selfish kind of way, yes.
because you're a bad mother.
No, I want to be very supportive, and I give kudos and props to all these, parents that are so that can be so involved in school functions and activities with their kids because
You mean those parents who are living vicariously through their children
yeah, probably.
because they weren't good enough to get the things accomplished that they wanted to when they were kids?
Yeah. That's them. No. No, seriously, because there are some very successful parents
there are very supportive parents, and
Yeah.
good for them.
But Priscilla didn't place because had she placed for nationals, she would have they would have gone to Florida in June, and that meant that we would be going as a family to Florida for June.
So instead of this, she got this.
Well, she did make some placement, but it was only like at a state level, not the national level. So anyway, so she
Did
sends
she feel bad?
I don't think she felt bad. I think the disorganized activities and everything, she was just ready to get out of that event. So she sends a text message that she didn't place, and the message is in a group message, and it's between Luis, my son, Isabel, and Priscilla and me. And so Priscilla's saying that she's really tired and she's been up since 5:30 in the morning. And then you get a response back from little Luis that he had to wake up at 4:30. And she responds, I had to wake up at 3:30. And Priscilla, LMFAOOOO, why? So I'm just going to say that.
She asked why they had to wake up so early?
Yes.
She was laughing my freaking ass off, and wanted to know why they had to get up so early.
Yes. And Luis, he says, I had to wake up at 2:30 and I'm super tired. And she still responds, why?
Why am I tired? Because I woke up at 2:30.
Yeah. She's like, you didn't have to wake up that early. And
Oh, my
Isabel
goodness.
responds, I woke up at 1:30 and I'm super tired too. And Luis responds, so Pila, you not going to Florida?
Oh, man, that's messed up.
Oh, so Priscilla's like, no. And she said responds to me that she'll let me know when that she's ready to go. She did place in a portfolio, but that doesn't go to nationals. And I responded, it's okay. You're always a winner in the state of Taurus. Isn't that cute?
That's cute if that mattered for anything, but in the state of Texas, she's a loser.
She is not a loser.
I'm kidding. It's an honor just to make it to a competition like that.
Anyway.
And for those who can't see, I just winked.
Yeah.
No, honestly, that's great to be able to participate in stuff like that. I know I'm joking when I say she's a loser and all that stuff because I think she's a winner. She's the fact that she's able to compete at a level like that is awesome and good for her. And I hope she doesn't feel bad about not being able to make it to the Florida competition because, who cares? It's Florida. We're in Texas, better state.
Yeah, and when I was telling Luis about all this, he says, well, I was thinking about we need to take a trip to Florida anyway. I want to go to Orlando. I'm like,
For what?
to go to Universal Studios.
Hey, man, that sounds awesome. You should do that.
Yeah.
I've heard really good things about that place.
Yeah. I don't know. I think I've told you before, he gets on these little kicks of like, oh, let's go do this. Let's go here. Let's go there. And if we plan fast enough, then he does it. But if we wait too long, he's like, no, we really don't need to go. Anyway.
So what's your plan? Are you going to attack this fast enough for him to do it? Or are you going to wait till he just kind of loses interest?
I think he may need to. This one may be a little different because Priscilla graduates in June. And we still haven't finished
So a
the
graduation
restroom.
present or... Oh, okay. So
Like
just-
yeah. I'm just thinking like from a financial standpoint, I don't know if that would be a good time to go. He's like, well, we'll just
Yeah,
buy the
I get
tickets
you.
now. And I'm like, okay.
Well, I mean, that's money still coming out of the bank. We might need that money later for graduation.
Yeah, he doesn't think that way. I'm still trying to find the money tree that he thinks that he has.
Well, speaking of text messages, you are the queen of funny text messages because last show, I asked you to send me a video and pictures of the t-shirts
Yeah.
so that I could put them up on the website. And you sent me a very compressed, tiny little video via text message. And I said, I asked for photos to put on the website. Isabella's a photographer. What am I supposed to do with this ugly shit? You remember?
I was like,
You
I
remember?
worked hard. I swear I said take 15, but it may have been more like take 25.
Well, hopefully we'll have this up for people to see. It might already be on Instagram by the time this show airs. But then I responded to myself. I said, nah, I'm just kidding. I can put this on Instagram. But seriously, can you get Isabella to take a couple of nice photos outside in some natural light so I can put them on the merch page of our website? And you never responded. That was the end of that night. That was the end of that text conversation. I think I ended up calling you, and we had this conversation because I didn't want you to feel like I was actually shitting on you when I said, what am I supposed to do with this shit? So we talked about it. We got some stuff planned that you never came through on. And then this morning, we're supposed to record. I get a message from you at 10:02 a.m. And you say, cuz, I'm just waking up. I feel like a failure. And me, the sympathetic guy that I am, I'm like, oh, cuz, just stop acting that way and you'll probably stop feeling that way. Remember that?
Well, it wasn't acting that way. I really feel like a failure because I missed my sister's call this morning and her text message. And I didn't wake up really when I heard my girls, Isabel and Priscilla, who are 18 and 19 years old, tell me that they're going to church with Loopy. Did you think I woke up then and say, oh, well, let me hurry up and go with y'all? No, I stayed in bed.
Were you partying last night?
No, I went to bed about...
Did you have a lot to drink at Alvado's birthday party?
No, I had nothing. I had water.
Are you getting old?
Possibly.
More like probably.
No, it's possible that I'm getting old, not probably.
I know I'm getting old. Like the food that I'm eating is starting to affect me in different ways. So I have to start eating healthier. And even trying to eat healthy, last week or whenever, Ash Wednesday, I had to eat, I couldn't eat meat. And it's really, this ketogenic diet is restrictive enough already because it cuts out so much carbs. So trying to find a meatless option, I'm pretty much left to grilled seafood and vegetables, which is fine. But, you know, most places around where I work are just fast food places. So you'd have to get a breaded fried fish sandwich. And I can't have the breading on the fish and I can't have the bun that surrounds that sandwich. So I had to find another option. I went someplace and got a salad with some anchovies because that's all they had to offer as protein on their salad bar. I've never had them before. They turned out they're a lot of flavor and a little bit very salty, but they weren't too bad. I would definitely try them again. Anyway, so I got a bunch of garlic because I love garlic. I had some minced garlic and some roasted garlic, and I had a bunch of that in there. And the salad ended up being really good, and it was I had two regular salad. I had one for lunch and then one later in the day for pretty much dinner. But that night, my back was hurting, and I was doing some stretches on the ground and, like, using a foam roller to pop my back and, like, massage it and stuff like that. And I ended up falling asleep on the floor.
Oh, my gosh.
And I woke up at 2:30 in the morning, and I'd been asleep for a few hours already.
Where was that foam roller stuck at?
It was beside me on the floor. What are you implying, cousin? Are you trying to imply that foam roller was somehow up my ass?
I did not. No, I didn't. No, that's not what I'm implying.
Well, where else would it be, and why would you ask it that way?
It just sounded funny. Could have been stuck under your arm, stuck under your neck, stuck under your buttocks.
Yeah, that's what you thought. That's what you wanted me to say. That's what you wanted to hear. But no, it was beside me on the floor where I was passed out, and I literally crawled into bed. So I get into bed, and my back is really tight, and I'm feeling pains, and I'm a little concerned about my gallbladder because I feel some pressure there, and this high-fat diet. I've had gallbladder issues in the past, so
Ooh,
I'm
yeah,
afraid
I
it's
didn't
going
think
to.
about that.
Yeah, well, it's something I've been thinking about since I've been doing this ketogenic diet. But I'm laying down and I can't get comfortable. Again, if I lay on my back starts to tighten up, lower back. And I lay on my sides and it's just, I can't get comfortable and I can't like crack my back or anything like that to just kind of relieve the pain and tension. So I end up laying on my stomach and I put a pillow under my stomach and I'm kind of like huddled over the pillow just a little bit, huddle over and it offers some relief, but it puts me in a position in such a way that I start to fart.
Oh my gosh.
I'm passing gas.
Oh no.
It's just a clear pathway now. And I fart a few times and it relieves the pressure on my gallbladder. And my back is still tight, but I do feel better. And I'm able, after a few times of just letting them rip, I'm able to go to bed and have a pretty decent night's sleep.
That's disgusting.
Because I'm getting old. My body doesn't work the same way it used to.
Well, at least you can still have some type of control over when they're released and not released.
Well, I mean, that night I did.
Oh, gosh. Oh. Well, I was thinking when you said a high fat diet and you're limited on your options for eating on Fridays. Just a personal opinion.
Yes.
With respect to the observance of not even eating meat on Friday.
Hey, can you clear your throat? Because that sounds really gross.
Okay.
I don't know if you know, but people put the headphones right into their ear, and when they hear you all flimming like that, it's really gross.
I didn't realize that it was that bad. Could you cut me some slack?
Well, cuz it's like you've only done 33 podcasts instead of 34.
I know. I should know by now how critical you are. I'm making a note of this. Clear throat, not
Listen.
in the microphone.
I am a podcast listener. I listen to a bunch of podcasts. You barely listen to this podcast, so you don't understand. When gross things go in your ear, it goes right in your ear. I mean, it's like if it's an earbud, it's in your ear. If it's a headphone, it's like right against your ear. So all that grossness goes in there.
Yeah, and people love to hear people belching right in their ear.
That's funny.
Anyway, so I don't know what the deal is. I think I have sinus drainage.
We all have sinuses.
Sinus drainage. So let me grab my book. Hold on.
Again, my cousin is not prepared. While she's away, I'll just talk smack about her again.
I didn't take
She
off
does
my
this all
earphones.
Oh my goodness. All right. Anyway, she does this all the time. She interrupts the show. She stops the show. Sometimes she has to go pee. Sometimes she has to go poop. Sometimes she's just not prepared. It's so aggravating. And then when she gets that phlegmy throat and she just tries to talk through it, just clear your throat.
Anyway, so I was really excited because we got this new little blender, which I think you tried to talk me into getting the Vitamix, and it's like way too expensive. So
It's a very expensive thing.
yeah, and I can't see myself letting Luis pay for that.
Tell him instead of going to Universal Studios, get you a Vitamix.
No, so I found the Ninja, and it's a pretty cool set. It's the Acu IQ. No, don't fact check me. Let me restate that. It's the Auto IQ. So I found this recipe, and it's like with butternut squash, and it has all these other ingredients. And so I was like, super.
Is it butternut squash or butternut squash?
Butternut squash.
Because last time you mentioned this, you said you had some better nuts.
it did call for nuts in addition to the butternut squash.
Okay.
It's butternut squash soup.
Oh man, your throat.
I can't fix it.
Look, go. Tell you what. You want to pause the show? Go have some chamomile tea or something like that, just to get things flowing.
No, I'll be okay.
Okay.
Anyway, it calls for all these ingredients, butternut squash, and I don't know if you've eaten butternut squash before. I think you said no.
I don't think I have.
Okay. It's kind of sweet. I find it almost similar to the taste of a sweet potato, but not as mushy and sweet. It's more of a squash, but it's sweet. So I make my soup, and it actually took longer than the 35, 40-minute cook time that was in the book. So I didn't get to actually eat it the night that I cooked it, which is okay because it was for Friday, the day we were not supposed to have meat. Which on that note, I don't know that eating meat on Friday, I know it's a self thing, like your sacrifice, but I think if you're, in your case, you're doing the keto diet for health reasons, I think it would be, and it's up to you, and I'm not the one that gets to say it's okay or not okay, but there's other things that you could give up in place of that meat, especially since you're, working on a better and healthier lifestyle.
You talking about vagina?
Stop! Anyway, so I make the soup. I'm super excited. Friday, I pack up some for my mom. And about 10 o'clock that night, I talked to her and I was like, well, hey, did you like the soup? And she's like, well, I'm going to be honest. It's like, oh, here it comes.
First of all, hang on, wait. Can you think about the irony of that statement for a second?
Yeah, normally she lies.
Yeah, exactly.
No.
Well, my entire life I've been lying to you. This time I'm going to tell you the truth about your cooking. Everything else, complete lie. All those times I said I love you, nope.
She's like, it was too sweet, and I really didn't care for it because she doesn't like sweet foods.
Since when? Did it give her the shits?
No, but I thought it was really good.
And that's all that matters.
Yeah. And
if you enjoyed it, cook it for yourself and quit feeding your mom. She can feed herself.
Yeah. No. So I also let Julie and Augustine taste it because that Friday night they came by.
And they're always honest, and their opinions are important. So what did they say?
Augustine was like, give this to the baby.
Oh, damn.
Because I had to purify it. I mean, everything in it.
You mean puree it?
Yeah, I had to puree it.
Purifying means you're taking all the impurities out, all the imperfections.
I had to puree it. Cut that out. Stop. I had to look back down to make sure I was reading it right.
No, you had to purify it, and what happened?
So I was like, you know what? Nobody liked my soup, but I did. And Loopy did, because I let her
Julie
try.
didn't like it either?
Julie said it was okay, because it's more of a thick, it almost looked like a thick sauce. And so she said that she would try it over some white rice and maybe some chicken.
How much did you make? Because you're letting a lot of people try it.
It was 2 pounds of butternut squash, which I don't know how many pounds of the squash it actually was because I didn't measure it and I didn't look at my receipt to see how much it weighed. So I just cut the whole thing up and put it in there.
Okay.
So it was...
You cook like I do. I get rough estimates and I'm like, it looks close enough.
Yeah, it was... the picture was 72 ounces. Okay.
Who is that?
Luis is home now. So we might start hearing some background noise. So the next recipe, which I recommend you trying, and I'm going to take a picture of it and send it to you. One day I will do that. It's kale and celery root soup.
Kale and celery root?
Yes.
Soup?
Yes.
What is celery root?
I don't know. I bought a thing of celery, so I hope that's it. I need to probably Google it. Ugh.
I think you should definitely Google it. In fact, I'll do that now while you look for whatever it is you're going to look for.
Oh man, I bought the wrong thing. Oh no, I didn't. I'm gonna say, what is celery root?
I feel like you did. Let me see if I can get this thing working. Here's what I'm seeing.
Oh no. I
What?
didn't buy a celery stalk. I mean, I bought a stalk of celery. What I bought does not look like that.
Here's what I'm seeing. Is this what you're? This is not
Yeah,
what you
that's
bought,
what
right?
I'm seeing. Ugh.
Oh man, I've never even seen this in the store.
I haven't either.
Where do you get this stuff?
I don't know.
All right, so let's continue with the show. Let's not get
Oh,
lost
hell.
in the recipe.
I'll let you know how that turns out next time.
Well, thanks.
I don't think I'm going to use celery root. I'm just going to use the celery.
Yeah,
See
just
how
use
it
the
goes.
celery.
Oh, and I'm going to throw
you know what?
asparagus in there too.
You gonna throw what?
Asparagus.
Hey, I saw this thing because I was looking up healthy recipes. Have you heard of the veggetti? What are you thinking?
What do you think I'm thinking? Is that a real vegetable or person or body part? What?
What body part are you thinking that the veggetti belongs to?
The pelvic area?
It's not the veggetti, it's the veg-etti.
Oh. Like
It's a combination of the words
vagina.
vegetable. Cochina.
Like
Why are you thinking
vagina.
vagina? Like vagine. No.
Oh gosh.
It's something. It comes with an accessory called the puseta. I'm just kidding.
I was like, oh my god.
Get your mind out of the gutter. What is wrong with you? No, the veggetti is a vegetable slicer that you can take like zucchini. You know what zoodles are?
Zucchini noodles?
Yes. So you can take a zucchini and you put it through this veggetti, and it's like this. It looks kind of like an old hourglass, but it has slicers inside. And you twist the zucchini through, or whatever vegetable, carrot, something else. You twist it through, and it makes like kind of like noodles, spaghetti,
yeah.
vegetable spaghetti.
I have that.
Do you really?
Yeah. It's a
Do you use it?
It's a little green. It's not electrical one. It's
Right. It's handheld.
yeah, it's a little green one.
A green one? No. This is white. You must have a knockoff.
I think it was as seen on TV. But
Yes,
I didn't
it's
buy
an as seen
it.
on TV product.
I didn't buy it on TV. I bought it in the
Where'd
store.
you buy it?
Probably like Ross or
Okay, hang on. I'm
Marshalls.
gonna pull up images of this. Yeah, and if you want to see what we're talking about, we're available. Video will be available on youtube.com/campfyre.
Yeah.
So this is what I'm
mine's-
talking about.
That's
Is this
way
what you
too
have?
big. You see this little one?
This one?
Kind of like that, yeah. But mine's green.
No, you have a different product. Let me see. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Stop.
Okay.
This whole video thing is sidetracking us.
Okay.
So I want to get one of those to make some vegetable spaghetti. But in the meantime, I was going to try and make some noodleless pho. Remember, I talked about this. I never got in touch with my sister-in-law to get a recipe, but I looked it up online. And it turns out I didn't have all the correct ingredients. So I was like, you know what? I have enough ingredients here to make a soup. I'll just make my own type of soup. So I started with some bone broth. You familiar with bone broth?
Like neck bone, beef bone.
No, I just bought it at a store. It's you just like boil the bones to
Yeah.
like either beef bones or chicken bones,
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
Okay. So I bought some chicken bone broth, organic, because I roll like that.
Of course.
Yeah. and I threw in some frozen broccoli and cauliflower and a full brick of frozen spinach. All right.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, okay, now I need my protein. What do I have? Well, I have some leftover Italian sausage, right? I have 2 pounds of it, 2 little 1 pound tubes. So I cooked that up with some onions and garlic.
Mm-hmm.
Right? You with me? You with me
I'm
so
with
far?
you. It actually sounds kind of good.
What do you mean kind of good?
It's
It sounds really good, is what it sounds like. I don't think I
Yes.
like your attitude when it comes to my cooking.
It sounds really good. Kinda is just like a word that I kinda use.
Kind of too much. Like, that's funny. No, I'm kidding with you. Yeah, so I cook all this up and I throw it all into a slow cooker and I let it cook for a few hours. And it didn't have like a real potent taste, like a real savory taste, but it had a nice mild taste. And it was really good. And it turns out bone broth is supposed to be like really good for you.
I didn't know that.
It has like collagen in it, which helps rebuild the lining in your stomach. It's supposed to be good for your skin, all kinds of stuff. It's a little high in calories, so if you're a calorie
I thought
counter.
your complexion looked good.
I just had this last night.
It works
I
miracles.
feel like you're pulling my leg. No, so that's my somewhat healthy recipe with some leftovers. I didn't get to make the pho that I wanted to, but I had enough to make a
So
throw together type of soup.
bone broth.
Yeah, bone broth.
I'm gonna try that. I'm gonna look into
You
it.
should.
I'm gonna see if I can purify
Yeah.
it.
Well, it's already liquid, so there's no puree needed.
So that was our
Did you do
health.
anything else? Yeah, as their health. Let's sign out of the health thing. That's our health update. Healthy recipes. We didn't show you how to make it because we're a podcast.
I'll send some pictures. I took a picture of my mom. Don't know. What if somebody wants to try that and they don't have a Ninja? They might go get one.
I guess they just have to use a Vitamix.
Yeah. Or some other type of puree device.
Exactly. Oh, I never told
Anyway.
you. The other night I went to an escape room with some friends of mine. Are you familiar with escape rooms?
Is it kind of like a, not haunted house, but like where you have to find a way to get out within a certain amount of time?
Yeah, kind of. I thought it was going to be kind of like a haunted house too, because I asked them, is anybody going to jump out and try and scare us? It's you're locked in a room with some people, and you have to find clues that will unlock other clues that will eventually lead you to be able to unlock the door and get out.
Are you competing with you're competing with others, right?
No, we're all working together. My friend, she's in town visiting, and she found this one place, and it had a music-themed room. So the whole premise of this is we have to break into a recording studio to find a lost Aerosmith recording that was never released. And the woman who works there, she's supposed to be like a hacker, and if we're going off track or something or need some help, she'll give us a little bit of guidance, which she had to do a few times. I don't want to spoil all the things in the escape room, but I'll tell you a few of them that were really cool. First thing, we went into the room, it was completely dark. There was like a little ottoman in the center, and it had some flashlights, and it had a photo album with some guitarists, some famous guitarists. And we're like, somebody was like, we need to turn the lights on. So I grabbed the flashlight, and I was looking for a light switch on the wall because I was like, it might be that easy. Just nobody's expecting that. No light switch, but there was a breaker box. So I went and started flipping all the breakers to on, and nothing happened. Then I realized on the panel next to it, it has a bunch of guitarist names, and it says, "What is their stance?" And I read it. I was like, "Hey guys, it says what's their stance?" And it's a bunch of guitarist names. And one of my friends was like, "Oh, left or right hand?" And I look at the switches, and above it, it has like little pictures of hands. It says L and R, and I'm like, "Oh, of course." So we start reading off, like, put everything to the right, and we'll just read off the left-handed guitarists because they're more rare. And of course, there's Paul McCartney, who is well known as a left-handed guitarist, Jimi Hendrix, and then they read off a couple other names who I wasn't familiar with, who I didn't know were lefties. So we get the lights on, and we're like, thank God we got the lights on. And it's set up like a recording studio. There's a computer in the corner with a little mixer next to it. There's some instruments on the other side of the room, and there's like a crate full of old records, and next to it is a box full of tapes. And there's like a small little recording booth that has a black light in there.
Mm-hmm.
So we're like, okay, where do we start? And we're like looking around and stuff, and I don't remember what order we found the clues, but there was one where we were looking through a bunch of tapes, and I noticed that, you know, it's like an old carrying case, and one side flipped up with cassettes on it, and I noticed on the bottom was another side, and I was like, oh, let's check on the other side. So I flipped it over, and there was another clue in there. Read that clue, and I forgot what it was. I'll just say I didn't figure out any of these by myself. I helped out with some of them, but they could have done it without me. So I wasn't an integral part, and I knew this because ever since high school, I found out I'm not as smart as I thought I was. But there was one.
God.
What? It's true. But there was one clue that I thought was really cool. I couldn't figure it out at first. I didn't know what it meant. I thought it had something to do with the recording booth because it kind of looked like it. On the outside of the recording booth, there were a bunch of CDs, and every other one had a letter on it, and one side spelled black and the other side spelled light. And the clue was find the record and find out where to play it. So I was looking for a record player. No record player. And this girl who was with us. What? It seemed like, hey, that's a clue. But this one girl was looking at the clue, and she was looking at the CDs that spelled out blacklight, and in between there were other CDs that looked like puzzle pieces. And she had gone through the crate of records, and she remembered there was one that had like a puzzle piece cover on it. So she was like, hey, do you think this means anything? And she held it up, and it looked like the puzzle pieces on the recording booth. So her brother took it and put it under the black light, and it had stuff written on there that you could only see under a black light.
Oh my God.
And I had noticed earlier on the cassettes that there was like a little label on each one that had words on it. And I was like, hey, what does this mean? And I was reading through, and I was like, well, you have to read all of these. They're not making sense. Well, on this blacklight record, there was a list of albums, and it turns out they were the cassettes. So we pulled out the cassettes that it said and read the labels on them, and they made sense as a sentence. And they were giving us hints on what these numbers were, because you had to find numbers to unlock other boxes in that room. So this is going on this side of the room. On the other side of the room, there's a group of my friends who are working on something else. They find a picture that says, make sure that the levels are set to this, and they set the levels that way. And this Pink Floyd poster falls down from the shelf. It falls over, not down, just like falls forward. And we're like, oh shit, somebody break something? You're not supposed to break anything. And we're like, I don't know, it's on hinges. It was probably supposed to do that, but we didn't know why.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, a little bit later, the lady comes on and she's like, hey, did y'all ever figure out, y'all made something fall earlier. Did y'all ever figure out what that was about? I'm like, no. So I went to look at the poster, and I'm standing under it looking up. I'm looking up at it like this, and I notice there's a little rectangular hole cut out on the poster. And she's like, don't you think that's weird that somebody would cut through a perfectly good poster like that? So I'm looking under it thinking, like, if I stand under it and look up, I'm going to see a clue.
Yeah.
And this girl standing on the other side of the room looks, and she's like, oh my goodness, look, the light is shining through and only highlighting human, because there's some words written on the wall, like a saying. And the only word that the light is shining on through this poster is human.
It's human.
And it turns out that was the code to unlock another lock. It had a lock with letters on it, so you spelled like human and open it, and it was another clue. Anyway, there were things like this, and then there was one where you had to set things in a particular order, and it's all done with magnets and stuff. I don't know how it works, but we got these things set up in a particular order, and then the mixer started moving by itself, the levels on the mixer. Mm-hmm. Like the volume knob,
like
the
DJ,
volume sliders.
Yeah.
Yeah. By themselves, it was moving. I was like, oh, check it out, it's moving. And then those landed in a certain way, and there were letters next to that corresponded with something. And I was like, okay, maybe that's like another code. Try that on this other lock.
Yeah.
It didn't work. But we ended up finding out what that was for, and it unlocked another box. It's just a cool
experience.
Unexpected good time. Yeah, I was a little hesitant at first because I didn't know what to expect and I didn't know if I was going to enjoy it. But I had a really good time, and I highly recommend trying an escape room with your friends because by the end of it, we didn't figure it out. We didn't get out of the room ourselves. The hour we used up our hour, and the lady said this was a more difficult room. She was probably just trying to make us feel better. She said we got about. She said we got about 80% through, and we were one of the fastest teams to get the lights on because most teams don't figure it out that fast, but we did.
The lights are on, but nobody's home.
Hey, yeah, that's pretty accurate. But it was a fun time, and I had a really good time doing it. And for me not knowing what to expect and being hesitant and thinking I'll do this one time for my friends, I would definitely do it again if I have the opportunity.
That's
So
funny.
if you ever
know
have the
what?
opportunity to try an escape room,
No,
What?
I haven't, but I do think it would be fun. But I've seen a few posts from different from people that I used to work with, and they go as I think it's with the actual job, like an event that they go to. I'm assuming it's like for like teamwork and showing
Yeah.
how you have to get to work together. I've seen it from two
Yeah.
different places, so I think it'd be pretty cool.
I think we should do one together as a podcast.
Oh my
And
gosh,
What?
do we have
Next time I'm
any?
in town, I think there's one in Beaumont that my friends were telling me about. We'll check and see if it's still available.
Mm-hmm. Oh, obviously we do have some because the people that I used to work with have done them. So yeah.
Duh.
Oh, that would be fun. It would be funny as a family. Could you imagine? Could
I
you
would love to
imagine
get our
your
family into one of
fave
those.
cuz trying
Oh,
to do?
you know what?
She'd be so
I would
pissed
get it.
off.
I would love to get the family into it and then just not do anything to help.
Oh gosh, that would be bad.
In fact, I would do things to hinder it. I would keep clues to myself.
That would be so bad. I can only
Can you imagine how fast our family would break down in something like that? We would just turn on each other so fast.
Oh my gosh, we turn on each other right now when it's just regular cakewalk and fun games.
Hey, are we going to do that for Easter?
I think so. I just don't know. Obviously, the cakewalk would be fun because hopefully the weather will be nice to be outside and do that. Actually, Andrea sent me something about doing like an adult Easter egg hunt. And you know how we don't let the kids really be involved in the adult games. So I was thinking maybe we could get some of the smaller kids. When I say smaller, I mean like the little ones.
The
Hide.
ones who aren't drinking yet.
Yeah. Hide the eggs. Or hide whatever it is that we have to find and just see, I don't really want anyone to get hurt because remember the last time Phoebe like tore a ligament and pulled a muscle?
What?
Remember when she was playing football?
Oh, football. Yeah.
Well, and then when you do an egg hunt, I mean,
It gets physical.
yeah. And
Like,
there's
that's my egg. You're heading for it. I'm going to run you over first.
Yeah.
So I can win the $5 prize.
Yeah, it's like getting candy.
I don't care
out of
if
a
your medical
piñata.
bills go up into the thousands of dollars. I want that $5 prize because I earned it.
Yeah, did you hear? It's almost like running for the candy coming out of a piñata.
Yeah, for our generation, your kids and that generation, they don't have that killer instinct for the candy. I've seen the last party I went to, they busted it open and everybody was like, wait, there's still more. And they kept swinging. Like, we would not wait for that. We would rush the person. They'd be blindfolded. They'd get knocked over and probably land on the stick. And then if we saw if there was more candy in the piñata, somebody would jump up and reach that thing and just tear it down. And then they'd be fighting over pieces of the piñata because they wanted to use that to hold their candy.
And the kid that finally manages to take the bandana wrap off around, from their eyes, just standing there like, I didn't
Their
get
wet,
nothing.
crying, tear-filled eyes, and they would say, "What?"
I didn't get any candy. Oh, goodness.
That happened to me one
Good
time
times.
at a Halloween party. Remember our old school would have those Halloween parties,
Yeah.
those Halloween carnivals. They
Mm-hmm.
had a piñata one year, and I set my candy bag down, and I had the blindfold on, and I swung, and these were white kids also. These weren't just Mexicans, but they still instinctively knew what to do. When the candy broke, because I broke it, they rushed to the candy. They knocked me over, and this was on concrete. This wasn't even on the grass. They knocked me over, and I fell and hurt myself. And when I took the blindfold off, not only did I not get any candy for the piñata, somebody saw my candy bag with my flashing pumpkin jack-o'-lantern flashlight. I was so upset, and I was so scared because I had to tell Mom, and I had very limited candy that year for Halloween. And plus, I didn't have my jack-o'-lantern flashlight anymore.
What'd your mom say?
Well, I don't know. She's like, well, you shouldn't have lost it.
Oh, gosh. That's too funny. Sorry, I was getting a call. My dear mom was calling.
Does she need her hooves cleaned?
No. I think she probably went to church.
Does she need her antlers sharpened?
No. She's probably wondering why I didn't go to church. She probably seen Isabel and Priscilla in church and not me.
That's because you're a bad mother.
I'm a failure. I stayed asleep. And honestly,
Didn't you have a... Yeah?
I could probably go back to bed right now.
I could too. In fact, I might, but I have to finish the podcast.
Yeah, I have like 4 chapters to read.
For homework?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I said you're a bad mother. Didn't you have a bad mother story you wanted to tell?
Bad mother story. Yeah, that I slept in.
Oh.
Didn't go to church.
Well, that doesn't make you a bad mother. That just makes you a bad human being.
Stop. Oh, goodness. I took a picture of my fortune cookie so we could post it. That's awesome.
Aren't you supposed to be on Instagram so you can post your own stuff? You're not just a bad mother. You're a bad podcast host, co-host.
I can't help it. I have 4 chapters to read. I have an outline to write. I have to prepare for Mother Teresa's speech for next weekend. I got a lot of stuff going on. Maybe we can talk about that later.
You can write your speech and compare Mother Teresa to your dear mother. And be like, where my dear mother gives off ticks that cause Lyme disease, Mother Teresa spent her life trying to help people who were filled with disease.
Stop! That is so wrong. Oh, goodness.
My mother goes to church a lot, but she's been lying to me her whole life, except for the one time she told me that she didn't like my butternut squash soup. Mother Teresa told the truth most of her life, and only occasionally lied to herself to help her faith get through the trauma that she was witnessing.
No. Actually, they said she did struggle with stuff in her life. I was reading that. And that was what led her to her.
Yeah, maybe say that into the microphone.
Yeah, that was something that she struggled with in her life.
Yeah, she struggled with her faith. So do I, but I'm no Mother Teresa, trust me.
Me neither.
I didn't like having to help a 19-year-old stripper who was in my house against my will.
Or her dog.
Oh, that cute, beautiful dog that was just so rambunctious and just so full of energy and needed
so much
to
attention.
go outside for a little bit. Oh, so much attention. It was horrible.
So what do you say, cuz? Where are we at?
I'd say that we're pretty close to the end. Anything else you want to add?
No, I thought it was pretty funny. Have you seen these Facebook memes where people are taking a picture of themselves and then what would you look like if you're a woman? What would you look like as a man? And then if you're a man, what would you look like?
I saw one that my fave cuz posted. And I saw the one that her partner Angie posted.
Yeah. Angie kind of looks like her dad, but
Which makes
your
sense.
fave cuz. Oh, I was like, oh my gosh. That shit was hilarious.
Oh man, we have to post that picture.
I actually took a screenshot of it.
Oh, good.
Because, we're not friends on Facebook.
You and your sister?
Yeah, I sent her a friend request and she didn't accept it. And she's like, I'm not gonna accept anybody. I just get on there for stuff for Presley, and Angie sends me stuff. I'm like, yeah, but she had time to
I
do
didn't
that
even-
picture.
Oh, she did the picture. It wasn't Phoebe.
Yeah, it was Phoebe.
Oh, okay.
That's what I'm saying. She's like, I
I
don't
see.
get on it, but she has time to do that. Sounds kind of
Yeah, so
So-
since Angie looked like her father, I think somebody made a comment about Phoebe. What did they say anything about Phoebe's father? Because she responded with something like she doesn't have a father, which is weird because all these years she has always claimed that Elvis Presley is her father.
I know
right?
now she's going back on that. That's weird.
Well, I wanted a reminder of that, so I did a quick Google search for Fat Elvis.
Oh no, stop.
So I posted a picture of it. It wasn't the real Elvis. It was some Elvis impersonator, and this guy was so fat. The front of him, where his pants were pulled up, it made like a little, like a camel toe.
Gross.
But it looked like somebody bending over. That's how heavy this guy was. So I posted this picture. I was like, "This is your father, remember?"
That's so wrong.
Yeah, she said
She
after that
gets-
she responded and said that we were finished.
Y'all are finished?
We're finished.
She means that too. You'll have to
I
find a
know
way
she
to make it
doesn't.
up to her. Yes, she does.
My fave cuz, your sister Phoebe, is a wonderful human being. She's so sweet, so generous, and not selfish at all. I want that to be on the record. You hear me?
I hear you. Let's just
Look
hope
at
she
me.
hears you.
Look at me. Do you hear me? Look at me. Do you hear me?
I do, and I hope that she also learns to
'Cause we
watch
get
the
off your phone.
videos. I'm trying to find the picture that I screenshot of her.
Okay, well, we'll find it later and put it in the post-production section.
How did you
We'll
know I was
post
on
it
my
our-
phone? You can't even see it.
I can see that you're looking down to something that's glowing right in your face, just out of frame. I'm not that dumb. Okay?
I thought I was being smart.
You're not
like,
paying
keep it
attention.
down.
You're not engaged in this conversation. You're absent, just like you are to your family because you're a bad mother. We've already established this. You're a bad human being. A terrible sister.
Oh, God.
Because your wonderful sister Phoebe is doing all these lovely things, and you're making fun of her by making me send a fat Elvis picture.
I wasn't even involved in any of that. Sister, I had no part of that. That was all your
Yes.
favorite cuz.
Damn right, we're favorite cousins.
Golly. Anyway,
Anything else you want to talk about?
no,
I'm gonna
I
end
think
with a
that
joke.
does it. Okay.
What's blue and smells like red paint?
I don't know because I don't know what red paint smells like, so I don't know.
Blue paint.
I don't get it.
Well, paint smells like paint. It doesn't matter what color it is.
That's just wrong. You're
Oh
so
my
wrong.
goodness. Let's see. Well, I can't end on a joke you didn't get. Let me see if I can find another stupid joke. This one isn't. It's a funny thing to say, but it's not really a joke. But I remember reading something like, I remember when my grandfather said right before he kicked the bucket,
What?
he said, "Hey, look how far I can kick this bucket."
Mark, mark, mark.
Hey,
That's so wrong. 'Cause I
did
just
you hear
think-
about the guy? Oh, go ahead. What'd you say? What?
So, I don't know. I was just like thinking when Grandpa kicked the bucket. That was sad.
No, not when he. Don't bring this down.
Anyway, go ahead. Move on.
Did you hear about the guy who invented lifesavers?
No.
They say he made a mint.
Stop. Oh, just stop right there.
Why do chicken coops only have 2 doors?
One to come in and one to go out.
No,
Why?
because if they had 4 doors, it'd be a sedan.
That is so wrong. Chicken chicken coops.
Why did the man give the pony a glass of water?
Because he was thirsty?
No, because he was a little horse.
Okay, stop. I'm getting another call, so that means I have to go.
Who's calling you?
My mom.
Put her on speaker.
I can't. She just hung up.
Oh, okay.
I got a message.
How do you make Kleenex dance?
You sneeze into it?
Close. You put a little boogie in it.
Stop. Okay. Go ahead.
What?
What's the next one?
How do you make holy water?
You bless it.
No, you boil the hell out of it.
Okay, cuz I gotta go.
All right. One last one. And this will probably not be the last time I use this one. I had a dream last night that I was a muffler.
Really?
Yeah, this morning I woke up exhausted.
Cuz maybe that should be the last time you use that
Yeah.
one.
Shut up. It made you laugh. All right, that's it. I don't know. I felt inspired to end this with some dad jokes for some reason. I love dad jokes. I love puns. I love bad jokes. I love dirty, filthy jokes. I like jokes. I like to make people laugh. I like to laugh.
So do I.
Yeah.
I feel like the Joker sometimes.
No, you don't.
I know. I'm joking. I'm joking. Stop. You're looking at more.
How can you tell the difference between a frog and a horny toad?
I think I know this one. I don't know.
The frog says ribbit, ribbit, but the horny toad says rub it, rub it.
Oh, stop.
And we'll end there. Please go to campfyrepod.com. Click on the Amazon link on the right-hand side. Anything you buy will give us a small commission at no extra charge to you. Or you can go to campfyrepod.com/merch and pick up one of the number 2 podcast shirts or one of the other shirts we've designed just to help support the show. What do you say about that, cuz?
I say that's freaking awesome.
We're gonna say goodbye now, so go and have some fun, but meet us back here next week to hear what we have done. You see, I made a rhyme. I don't know how I did it. Make some healthy recipes, eat your food, and come on, cuz, help me out. I can't rhyme.
I was just gonna say,
I
I think
need
you're
a
like
rhyming dictionary.
like Shakespeare.
I don't want to be in the well with a canary that rhymes with dictionary, and we have to come up
with some very
very canary dictionary. We should probably get a rhyming dictionary to see what rhymes with dictionary and canary and very. My face is hairy, just like my back and ass crack. You see, I rhyme back with my ass crack. Now it's your turn. Say a rhyme to get us out of this on time. I hate to rhyme with the word time, 'cause people always do it, but my car can stop on a dime or a quarter. I don't want to be a farter, but I'll burp into the microphone. So come on, eat an ice cream cone. Stop, but don't make it waddle like a duck. I don't know.
I don't know. Stop and duck, I guess.
Goodbye.
Bye.